Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. It has been a while since I've chatted to you guys and I missed it so much. I'm so sorry for the inconsistency and just the lack of videos altogether, especially the last 2 weeks I haven't uploaded anything and it feels really weird. It feels weird to be vlogging back again, but after like a minute already I've already gotten used to it. But yeah, it felt weird not just consistently having a vlog being filmed or being edited. It was a really weird time, but I'm back and I have at least 3 videos planned already that I know I'll be able to do each week, so we're at least gonna get back into weekly uploads for now. I'm not sure and I'm not making any promises for any particular upload days or anything like that, but I know there's some really good opportunities I want to vlog for you guys, as well as certain videos I want to make. So yeah, I'm really excited to get back into it, and obviously the theme of today's video is goal setting and sort of a reset for 2019, because the day I'm filming this and the day I'm uploading it, I'm sorry the lighting's changing, it's the afternoon and the sun is going down, but yeah, it is Sunday the 30th of June. I think it's the 30th, it could be, there's only 30 days in June, right? Yeah, Sunday the 30th of June. And tomorrow is the 1st of July, which is the first day of quarter 3. It's the first day of the second half of the year. It's the first day of the week. I just absolutely love when a day like that actually falls on a Monday. Like if it was like a Wednesday, I'd be really annoyed, because then like, do you reset your week and do your goals like at the start or at the end of the week? Like, I don't know. But it is just so satisfying that the start of the next quarter and the start of the second half of the year, like the next 6 months, is on a Monday, and it's like the 1st of July. And it's just a really good time. So I thought I would do a video all about it, because I've really found, I don't know what I'm trying to say, like I really found an effective way to goal set for me, and also just found out in general how effective goal setting is and how amazing it is, and how fun it is to achieve your goals when you set them in a particular way and in a specific way. And yeah, I've learned a lot in the last 6 months so far, like the first half of 2019, around goal setting in particular. So I'm really excited to review my goals with you guys, because there's definitely going to be a lot that can be added and changed, and some things that I've completed, which is really exciting, or achieved I should say. But yeah, let's get into it. I'm going to show you my vision board, which I actually made partway through the first half of the year. My goals and resolutions that I made at the very beginning of the year. And yeah, what's new, what's changed, what's achieved, and how I'm living life a bit differently and goal setting a bit differently now. So yeah, let's jump into it. Alright, so for this video, yes, I'm sitting on my bed because, as I said, it's super casual, super chill. But for the video, I require my vision board, my old 2019 diary, my new 2019 diary, because that has definitely changed, my laptop, because it has some new goals on it as well, and I guess my pencil case for writing down the new ones. But I haven't really decided where I'm going to write down the new ones yet, so that might not be needed, but we're just going to go with the flow here, guys. So this diary was a diary I bought at the very start of the year, and I thought I would need an A4 size, because obviously that means there's more room. It's like a day to a page, so there's like plenty of room to write stuff. But as you can see, I was never really actually filling up the entire page, and it was just like a whole waste of space pretty much. So I can't remember how far into the year, but not too far in at all, because obviously they were still selling 2019 diaries. I bought this KKK one, which is the size I'm always used to and much prefer, and I've been using that one. I used it for probably the first quarter and a bit, and I've just dropped off using it recently because I use Google Calendar a lot now, particularly for PLC and all PLC related things. So I just like to keep it all in one space, and I find myself just never pulling this out, because Google Calendar you can access on your laptop and on your phone, and it also gives you notifications of like however long before the event, like however long you set the settings for, which is really handy. But yeah, I still like to have a physical diary, so that's what I moved on to. But that's obviously the first major change. If I was still using a physical diary at all, I would definitely transfer my new goals I'm writing into this one, because that is where I had my old goals. Sorry, I shouldn't say my old ones, my original 2019 goals. That's where I wrote them, in the front of my diary. So if I was still using a physical diary, I would definitely put it, like transfer them into here, but I'm not. So I'm thinking I might just add them onto my laptop, and also then in like image form on my vision board. Other thing, also, I should, what am I trying to say? I should give you another update. Along with changing and updating your goals, and obviously getting rid of ones you've achieved and adding new ones that can challenge you for the rest of the year, the mid-year reset, which is basically what this video is about, is also more about readjusting how your goals are written and what they are, and also where they're written, and how you see them every day and how you ensure they get done. So for example, that was one of the most important things, was the fact that I actually changed diaries partway through the year. So as I said, if I was still using a physical diary, I'd write them in there because I changed diaries and I'm using that one. But I'm actually not using this one at all. I use Google Calendar. So then obviously it would make sense to have my goals on an electronic device, so I can access it on my laptop and my phone, because that's where I view a lot of my goals and that sort of thing now. Same with my vision board. This vision board was actually in the other room that I have in the house, that just has like my desk and my extra filming stuff and lighting and all that sort of stuff, which was really effective at the start of the year, because obviously I used to be a uni student, and I had my vision board sitting up in front of me while I did uni work at my desk. But since dropping out of uni, I literally have not gone in that room at all, except to use my lights for like filming a couple of videos. But that's another thing that just will ensure that I can actually visualize my goals and use them and complete them, is by moving my vision board into my room. So once I change all the images, obviously I'm going to put it on this ledge, if it works. Oh my goodness, I'm doing this with one hand. I've never actually put it up here yet. On this ledge of my bed, so that it is obviously above my head when I sleep. I see it when I wake up and when I walk out the door of my room, because it's just like straight in eye view when you open the door, and it's just, I think, a really nice central place to have it. It's also beside my calendar, which is another thing I dropped off using since obviously I guess the month before May, so April, because that's May and it's blank and I haven't even flipped over to June. So that's another thing I want to get back into using, but also not actively, because I use Google Calendar actively, but that will just be a nice like visual representation. So I do need to get back into filling that out as well. But yeah, that's a really important tip before we even get started, is to ensure that the way you visualize your goals and the way that you see them and are reminded of them is still relevant to you. So obviously having my vision board in my desk area wasn't relevant now, because I don't use my desk very much. So yeah, things like that are really important to reevaluate halfway through the year and make sure that side of things is all still applicable, I guess. Alright, so I've actually just put the camera up on that little ledge that I just showed you that the vision board was on, to quickly have a look at my goals that I set at the start of the year. Now, I haven't really looked at this too much in detail. I only checked it the other day when I was planning on making this video. So I'm going to run through them with you guys and see what's been working so far, what hasn't, what I completely forgot about, and what I can add and change. So let's start. The first one said put the same amount of money into my savings every week. I'm not gonna lie, that definitely hasn't happened. Like 100% definitely has not happened. I want to say like, oh, my USB room just turned off, sorry about that. I don't really have an excuse or a reason or a justification for that. It just hasn't happened. I've never ever been a very good or disciplined saver. I know I can definitely change that, and I will in the second half of the year, and I really think I need to refine that goal and make it a lot more specific again for it to be achievable for me, because a goal like that is a little bit too broad and a bit too generic, I guess. I need to be more specific with numbers so that I achieve it. So that's the sort of thing that you guys should do if you're reflecting on your goals. Definitely, if it didn't work or you haven't achieved it yet, ask yourself why, and that's obviously just because I wasn't disciplined enough in putting the same amount of of money into my savings every week in this example. And then ask yourself, yeah, why that didn't happen, because I wasn't disciplined, what you can do about it. If it was because of the goal itself, if it was because of the actions you took, and maybe it was just because something in your life can change that you had no control of. That definitely wasn't the case in my instance or my example, but for anything, yeah, so that way you can revise it, you can change it. So my revisions of that goal would be to change it to make it more specific. So there's an actual physical number in there. So I'm now going to change that to, I think, a specific number of like thousands of dollars that I want to have saved by the end of this year, and then obviously reverse engineer that to figure out how much I will need to save on a weekly basis. But as long as I have that end goal, which is the actual figure, I find I actually work towards those better, because I guess in past experiences the main thing I've had to save up for would be schoolies during year 12, and that was obviously a set figure that I had to have by a set date, and I successfully saved that and paid for schoolies. So I guess, yeah, looking back on past experiences and what does work for me, that will definitely be the best way to adjust that goal. And you can also use that for you guys as well, looking back on past examples of maybe where you have achieved a goal that's similar to this, similar to the one that you now haven't achieved, and see what's different and what you could sort of rearrange to make it similar to the old goal. My next one was buy myself a Canon G7X, and that is what I'm filming on right now. So I'm very happy to say that I have successfully achieved that. The next one was finish my first year at uni and try my best. I dropped out of uni after 4 weeks of being at uni, and I'm quite okay with not having achieved that, because it is just not a relevant goal anymore, and that goal will definitely be replaced by something to do with work and with PLC and my goals career-wise instead of uni. My next goal was to prepare lunches and snacks weekly, and I definitely have been more consistent than I was expecting, especially because that isn't a very specific goal. But in some cases it is really obviously really good to be specific, especially with things like money and that first goal as my example. But things like this, like preparing lunches and food, and I guess health and fitness ones, it can be a little bit disappointing if you do set such a physical or specific goal and you continuously don't achieve that. So I set myself that one that wasn't specific, that didn't say prepare 5 meals a week or prepare 2 snacks and 1 meal, or like, yeah, something like that, whatever. It was just very generic, because I do find that works best for me, and it has so far. Almost every week I've at least prepared snacks, or I've at least prepared meals for the week, or I've at least prepared the night before, each night, or even the morning of. But yeah, I've still been a lot better than I ever have this year compared to previous years. So yeah, I'm not too unhappy with that, and it's definitely a goal that will stay there so I can keep getting better and refining my food prep. My next goal was to post more fitness and fashion on Instagram. Now, how this is worded we need to pay attention to, because I said post more fitness and fashion on Instagram. So that's just because they're my two favorite things ever to talk about, to buy, to post, to do everything, all that sort of stuff. But the keyword is more, and a lot of the time if it's a really important goal to you, and obviously this one isn't a set milestone or achievement, it's just something that happens over time, so it's a bit different. But if it was, yeah, a specific goal or achievement you wanted to have completed, that you can say you can tick off and you don't have to do it ever again, you wouldn't use the word more, you would use the word, say, you would do something specific. So you would say, I want to post 1 fitness and 1 fashion post per week every week, and that would be really specific, really measurable is the word I've been looking for, like literally this whole time. Besides specific, also measurable. But yeah, in my case, post more fitness and fashion is the right wording for me. But if it was something super important, super top priority, something I wanted to have ticked off and say I completed, it would need to be measurable. So yeah, if I had said I want to post 1 of each every week, I would then be able to measure that and obviously look at my Instagram and see if I've been able to achieve that. Okay, so I've pretty much given you guys an example of all the different wordings of different goals and how you can make them measurable, and why they don't always have to be measurable, but making them measurable is helpful, and all that sort of stuff. And I've sort of given you a bit of an idea of all the different types of goals. So I'm going to quickly run through the rest of mine and just say if I've achieved them or not, and then we can move on to new goals. The next one was to work hard on my YouTube channel. That one is definitely not a particularly strong goal. It's not measurable, it's not specific, it's just something I wanted to do, and it does help to write it down on paper, but it's not really something I can say I've achieved or haven't achieved because it's just not specific or measurable enough. The next one was go to PLC every single weekday. I can definitely say I've achieved that. There's probably been a couple of days, actually, well, obviously when I got my wisdom teeth out I had like 2 weeks off, but besides that there was probably a couple of days here and there I didn't go, but I am obviously very happy to say I've achieved that. And not only that, I work there now, so I go every day anyway. The next one was to be more environmentally conscious. That is another example of something that is not measurable and not specific. It is just a really good resolution to have and something you want to work towards. But yeah, as you can see, at this stage of my life, like the very beginning of 2019, I hadn't really been that involved in PLC, and I didn't really have that awesome of a concept of goal setting, which is why all of these are not written in the best wording they could possibly be, which is why a lot of the time I use the word more and I don't specify and I don't put a measurable number or time limit on it, which is the most effective way. So instead of that, if that was a serious goal I really wanted to achieve and tick off, I would change that to something like, for example, if I drank coffee, I don't drink coffee, but if I did, it would be to buy a keep cup and use it 4 days a week or something like that. So that means you've not used 4 takeaway coffee cups per week, and that means you're saving the environment like 4 takeaway cups, something like that, something measurable. I don't drink coffee, so that's not really a good example, but you get the idea. The next one was read more. Even though that isn't specific, I can definitely say I haven't done that, and I definitely want to work on that for the next half of the year. Next one, do more mind, body and self-care. That one, not too bad, not too good, again because I can't measure it and I can't really remember or evaluate that well enough. Next one is spend less time mindlessly scrolling. I think I definitely successfully have done that. Obviously, to be more achievable, I would put a time frame on that, so I would say only spend this amount of time on screen time. And you can actually do that on your phone. You can go into settings and search screen time, and you can actually use that if that's a goal that you want to set for yourself. And you can use the different settings, and you could say, you can even break it down into apps or type of apps. So you could go spend only 1 hour on social networking a day, or spend 15 minutes on Facebook a day, or whatever it is. So, but yeah, that one wasn't specific, but I still think I've definitely reduced my time mindlessly scrolling, which is good. My next one was to do jazz, tap and show team at my dance studio. I've actually recently quit tap just because I wasn't enjoying it as much as I used to, but I'm still loving jazz and show team, so that's going great. And my last one was to reply to YouTube and Instagram comments. And I have to say, I honestly can't remember. I think at the start of the year I probably did all right, and then I dropped off, and now I just haven't been as active on YouTube and Instagram at all. So that one's a little bit irrelevant just because I haven't even been posting enough to get a lot of comments, if that makes sense. So yeah, that is all the goals. Finally finished them all. And obviously my vision board, now we can talk about, relates to quite a few of those goals. So for example, the photo of the Canon G7X I can now take off. I definitely think I will keep most of the quotes. I might just add a few new ones to freshen it up, but I still really like all of my favorite inspirational women. These are like the people I look up to the most: Chloe Zepanowski, Steph Claire Smith and Sarah's Day. In pretty much all aspects of all three of them, I really look up to them business wise, fitness wise and lifestyle wise, I guess you could say. They're all really successful business women, particularly Chloe and Steph have their own businesses. Sarah just does a lot of collaborations with a lot of brands that I would love to collaborate with, which is I guess why she's a goal, and she's on there with all of her healthy eating, because I really love how she eats consciously and mindfully. And yeah, so that's definitely just a quick little reflection on my vision board and what I will need to change on that one. Alright, so next I'm just going to grab my laptop to show you guys, or I guess talk about what goals I set sort of when I began at PLC, which was probably around March. I set these goals, and yeah, these are ones that I have recently added to as well. Well, not recently, but over that time period from March until now, like until June 30, I've been adding to them. So there's still some really fresh new ones that are definitely my new goals that we'll be setting for the second half of the year. And there's also stuff on here that I've achieved. So I'll just quickly run through so you know what I'm talking about. So as you can see, I've broken them down into quarters. So quarter 2, quarter 3 and quarter 4, only because when I started at PLC it was the very end of quarter 1, so I just went straight to Q2, Q3 and Q4, and then the green is if they are completed or not. So Q2 was all completed. I had leave my uni degree, which I definitely did. I had quit my job at Priceline, definitely did. Buy a Canon G7X, definitely did that. And have a permanent role at PLC, I definitely did that. So that is all 4 for Q2 ticked off. And then I only had 2 for Q3, but just because this was always sort of a work in progress and I wasn't sure how to split my yearly goals across the 3 quarters that we had left, just because I was so new to this goal setting process at the time. But the 2 Q3 goals I had was get a job in social media / marketing, which is now my job at PLC, which worked absolutely amazingly. And the other one was collaborate with a fitness brand, e.g. protein or activewear. I didn't achieve that one, I don't think. I've done a post on my Instagram with Lilybod before, but it's really not the standard that I implied when I wrote that goal for myself. It was more to be an ambassador or something like that with a fitness brand that I truly loved and used, and that hasn't happened. I'm okay with that. That was quite a big goal to achieve in such a short amount of time from when I said it. But yeah, I'm definitely going to leave that on there for the last half of the year. And then all the rest of these goals are goals for Q4. Oh my god, I just realized I was talking about Q3 like it was in past tense. I started talking about it like that because I've already achieved one of them, but I really just realized that Q3 is like the one coming up. Oh my god, I'm so silly. So yeah, the get a job in marketing one was a Q3 goal, but I've already achieved that and it's obviously still in the Q2, so that's fine. Collaborate with a fitness brand is still going to be a Q3 goal, and then I'll sort of readjust my others to make them into Q3. But yeah, Q4 goals, there's quite a few just because it's obviously the end of the year, and these are just goals that I want to have done and achieved by the end of 2019. So they are reach 50,000 subscribers on YouTube, reach 10,000 followers on Instagram, attend the Kerwin Rae Nail It and Scale It event, which is in November, and that's more the money side of things. I want to have enough money to be able to attend that event, just because it's more the price that is unachievable rather than actually being there. Complete my Cert 3 in fitness, and get invited to an event, as well as attend 10 networking / knowledge events. So to elaborate on the Cert 3 in fitness, I actually enrolled in that last week or the week before, and that is officially starting tomorrow, so the 1st of July. So that is definitely well underway to have completed. I just need to make sure I keep on top of it and get it done by the end of the year. Subscribers and followers, I'm obviously working on that every single day. And yeah, the Kerwin Rae Nail It and Scale It event is going to be what actually my first goal about saving money will be based on, just because that's my next savings goal, and I'll definitely use the cost of that Nail It and Scale It event to set a money saving goal, if that makes sense, because obviously I'll need to save enough money for that event. But yeah, okay, so they're all the goals that I have still currently at the moment for the next half of the year, and I feel like I was going to sort of actually go through and readjust them and write them all out again and show you the finished product of like the list of my goals for the second half of the year, but I think what I might do is just end this video here, because I've already talked for so long. And as I went, I sort of explained if the goal would need to be continued on to the rest of the year or if it was achieved already. So I feel like me just rehashing the whole thing would be literally that, just repeating what I've already said. because there's not really anything like completely out of the blue additional that I would need to add on. It's more just refining those goals further, changing them to be more measurable, more specific, using less of the word more and yeah, all those sort of tips that I already shared with you guys. And I will also be just updating a couple of photos on my vision board as well, but you'll be able to see that on my Instagram. But yeah, that's going to be all for this video, only because I actually do have almost a second part to this video as well, because as I said, it's Sunday the 30th of June, and next Sunday the 6th of July I will be attending my first quarterly planning with the PLC people, like the PLC as a company, I guess, because every quarter PLC, like the founder of PLC, organizes a planning event, which is an entire day. It starts at 6 AM and it's always on like the first Sunday or the second Sunday of the quarter. And I forget where I was going with that. Anyway, basically I've never been to one because last quarter I literally just started and like didn't really have a specific role in PLC. I don't even think I was getting paid at that point. Like I wasn't really part of PLC and didn't really need to go to planning or anything. So this is my first planning as a PLC team member, and it's the first time I'll really be able to work on my own personal goals and my own goals within PLC and all that sort of thing. And basically it's an event at the Gold Coast. As I said, it goes all day. It's in like a function room, and yeah, we get together with all of the PLC North Lakes team and literally all the members of any PLC teams all across Australia. Anyone that can come does, and it's this big full day event. And obviously I'm going to try and vlog as much as I can. I'll actually just vlog the weekend itself anyway, because I'm going to the Gold Coast the night before to stay there with Grace, who's like a North Lakes team member. And yeah, so we can be at the Gold Coast all weekend and I'll vlog it and everything, and obviously show you guys the planning and the goal setting process, because that's what it's all about. And yeah, I think that will just be a really nice part 2 to this video, because obviously I'm definitely going to be resetting my own personal goals now, which is all of those ones I've shared with you. But after next weekend I'll have a much clearer idea about goals career-wise, personally, but more specifically PLC goals and all of that sort of thing. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to it, and I'm going to share it all with you guys anyway. So guys, that brings us to the end of my 2019 goals reset video, I guess you could say. Thank you so much for watching if you're literally still here after I don't even know how long it's been of me just talking at you. I really hope you gained some insight and some knowledge, and sort of, I guess, got a bit of a kick up the bum if you haven't achieved your goals that you wanted to achieve so far. And yeah, I really hope you learned something and found it helpful, because I really enjoyed filming it and sharing with you guys what I've learned so far at PLC and what I still have to learn. So thank you so much for watching, and give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!